So I've been doing this YouTube thing for about 2 years consistently now, and I get a whole range of comments. So this video is going to be about what are some of the craziest comments that I've gotten in my comment section on my videos. So you get an idea of what it's like to be a YouTuber, small, large, in between. Here goes. So this comment comes from a video about foreigners on the most confusing things about Brits. I'll make sure to link all of the videos that the comments are from in the video description, so make sure to check out the video description if you want to go and watch those videos. So the first one is from a video called Foreigners on the Most Confusing Things About Brits. So here's the first comment. It is from @David McCarthy 6053, and it says, blacks and Americans can't speak or understand pure English. All they do is sound retardant. So first and foremost, retardant means to slow the process of something. So I don't think that's quite what you mean by retardant. Let's get the actual definition of retardant, just so we know what you're talking about. According to Google, a retardant is a substance or agent that slows, delays, or prevents an unwanted action, process, or growth. Something tells me that's not what you meant when you said blacks and Americans can't speak or understand pure English. All they do is sound retardant. I think you meant a different word from retardant, which probably applies to you, given that you don't know the difference between that word and retardant. That's the first comment. So I don't know why, what was it about this video that made you think blacks and Americans can't speak or understand pure English? All they do is sound retardant. First and foremost, I'm black and I'm speaking English, so I can clearly understand English. What is pure English? What does pure English mean to you? You know when people come up with the dumbest comments, they don't even make sense themselves. Pure English, what is that? What is pure English? You really need help in life, and I hope you get it, but most likely you won't, because you're making comments like people who are black and Americans can't speak or understand pure English. All they do is sound retardant. Again, retardant is not the word I think you were looking for. If it is, something makes me think that you don't understand pure English. The next one is from a video called Spanish Reveal the Strangest British Christmas Traditions. And this comment is from Andrew Sims 4123. His comment is, racist scum. All countries are different, you ignorant toes. What in that video made you think people are racist? It was about people having different Christmas traditions. Which part of that made you think people are racist? Of course, all countries are different. Like, isn't that just the most basic of comment to say, all countries are different? Yes, that's the point of the video, to show how people have different Christmas traditions and how foreigners see some British traditions regarding Christmas as being strange or unusual. That doesn't make somebody racist, it just makes them observant, which you likely are not. The next comment is from foreigners, a video titled Foreigners on Their Biggest UK Culture Shocks. This comment is from @Mefsia May. Oh, this one's not a bad one actually. This comment says, what the F star star? This guy speaks Japanese. So this yo, ichi nen janai, 10年前に日本に住んでいました。その経験で日本語を勉強して、日本語を知るようになりました。Yes, I speak Japanese. Hopefully some people will know what I said based on what I said in just then. I'm not going to translate it. I want to see if people can figure out what I just actually said in Japanese. It has been a while since I've spoken Japanese. I need to get back to speaking with my Japanese friends so I can improve my Japanese or get my Japanese back up to the level it was. But yeah, I speak Japanese. So that comment is not as bad. That's an actual interesting comment. Still a bit of a crazy comment that they're like, what the F? This guy speaks Japanese. Yeah, there are people who are not from a given country and speak that language. I happen to be one of those people with regards to not being from Japan, but speaking Japanese. The next one is from the same video. It is @Colin_the_Red. It says, as soon as the two women from San Francisco came up, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what foreigners think the rest of us are like. They're so annoying to listen to. This comment has 1,000 likes. I just want to take the moment to say, when I was interviewing them, I did think the way they were speaking was very funny. They were dragging out all of their words, but they were so nice. I mean, anytime somebody stops and talks to me, a random stranger, and then takes part in an interview, again, with a random stranger, I really respect that, because a lot of people just want to walk on, they just ignore me. I get 10,000 no's and 1 yes. So any yes that I get where somebody stops and talks to me, I really appreciate it. I did not think there would be so much controversy from these two women and the way they spoke. Yes, they sounded like valley girls, but my video is about getting as many people from as many different backgrounds to share their opinions on different things that people can find eye-opening, useful to hear, they can learn from. So I felt a bit bad how much people hated their voices, but it made for an interesting comment section. I mean, again, 1,000 people liked this comment that said, as soon as the two women from San Francisco came up, I was like, oh my gosh, this is what foreigners think the rest of us are like. They're so annoying to listen to. I didn't notice it as much as you guys clearly did. And you also taught me something which I hadn't noticed before, is that some people speak with a vocal fry. So that's what everyone was saying. Oh, that vocal fry is so annoying. Vocal fry this, vocal fry that. It sounds like a type of cooking technique. It's not a type of cooking technique. It's a way that people kind of drown out their voice and speak like this and so on. I can't really do the vocal fry unless I'm really tired and it's not intentional. I think Kim Kardashian is one of the most notorious of having a vocal fry.
Google alerts anymore on myself. I did, but I haven't in a couple of years.
But yeah, it was just really interesting that people really had such a strong reaction to the voices and the way those two women spoke. Again, I thought they were fantastic. Thank you for taking the time to stop and talk with me. But people are entitled to their comments, and I like getting this understanding of, you know, it's the things people will pick up on when they watch a video. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. So the next comment is from a video called What's Life Truly Like as a Foreigner in the UK? So this is a more recent video, and the comment is from at Carnival Cafe FX5BK. So the comment says, foreigners who are in my country, England and the UK, should be happy as they get everything given to them, unlike us English who work to be taxed to yet give our MONE6 away to foreigners. We're not happy about that. Could us English do this in their country? Okay, there are a lot of things to unpack from this comment. Let's start from the beginning. Foreigners who are in my country, England. Since when did you own England? I mean, this whole thing about, oh, this is my country, this is my country, this is my country. What you mean is that this is the country that you identify with, you've lived in most of your life, you're a citizen of, but you don't own it. It's not your land. You can't kick people out. You don't have that power. Maybe some people in government have the power. Maybe some people in given law enforcement have the power. But you, individual citizen, do not have the power to kick somebody out of your country, the country they're in. So this whole my country, foreigners in my country, England. I mean, when you travel to another country, do you all of a sudden think, oh, I'm in another country, so anyone could just be rude to me and say, this is my country. I don't like you being in my country. So yeah, it's just like, this is always a thing where people are so territorial about something they don't even own. You don't own the UK. You don't own England. I understand the sentiment of you wanted to protect and look after a country and identify with that country. But when you start talking about things like my country, I think you take it a little bit too far in that you then start to be excessively territorial, if it's possible to be even reasonably territorial. And then moving on, and the UK should, and so foreigners who are in my country, England, and the UK should be happy as they get everything given to them. Who's getting everything given to them? Like, who's getting everything given to them? So you're telling me the student that comes from somewhere in Asia or somewhere in Africa and pays double, triple, even more the tuition fees is getting everything given to them? No, they're struggling, especially if they don't have mommy and daddy or some other benefactor paying for them. So what is this? They get everything given to them. If that's the case, like, I need you to expand on they get everything given to them. I've not heard a single person that I've interviewed who is a student or so said, oh, the UK government gave me accommodation. The UK government gave me free food. Maybe there's some few refugees that you're talking about, but as a percentage of the people in the UK who are here and aren't from the UK, are they the majority? They are not. And I'll include some statistics to show the number of foreigners who aren't refugees compared to those who are students or have come here to work legally. You really need to be specific in what you're saying, otherwise you sound like a retardant. Then we go on, unlike us English who work to be taxed to yet give our MONE6. I think you meant to write money there. Yeah, probably because the Y key is right next to the 6 key. So I'll give you that. Like sometimes we have typos. So I'll give you that. Unlike us English who work to be taxed to yet give our money away to few foreigners. Where to begin with this? A given percentage of taxpayers' money is used for things that support foreigners or refugees. But if we look at a breakdown of the spending from taxes, again, I'm sure it's going to show that the vast majority is spent on British nationals, spent on people in this country. I'll include some statistics here so you can see for yourself. I mean, it's always the easy argument that money is being drained away that should just be used for British people. But it's a very hard distinction to make if somebody's necessarily British or any nationality of a given country, unless you're just going around checking their passports. Like, oh, you don't have a British passport, so you can't have this resource. We're not happy about that. Could us English do this in their countries? Well, many English people do leave the UK and go to Dubai or Australia, and they benefit in many different ways. They go to Dubai for lower taxes. They're benefiting there. And you can say, oh, but they contribute because they're working. So how come when British people go to another country and they work and they pay taxes, you're saying they contribute? But then when people from overseas come to the UK and then they get a job and they pay taxes, they're not contributing. Make it make sense, please. But you'll probably come out with, oh, I'm not talking about those ones. Those are the good ones. And then who's this distinction between the good ones and the bad ones? Why are you the person who's making that distinction about who's the good foreigners and who's the bad foreigners? I mean, good or bad should be based on overall behavior. And this idea that there are people who are just siphoning off resources from British people, honestly, you just end up being lost for words. Moving along. Again, this is the same video. What's life truly like as a foreigner in the UK? The next one is @newblackdog7827. It says, oh, here's a good one. We simply need an immigration policy that encourages people like this and excludes C, yen sign, NTS. You know what word that's meant to be. It starts with C and it ends with ants, from Pakistan, Bangladesh, Afghanistan, Iraq, Sudan, Morocco, Algeria, or any other Muslim majority nation. See, this goes back to what I said before about people who think they're good foreigners and bad foreigners. But now you're saying good foreigners or bad foreigners are based on, one, the country they're from, and two, if it's a Muslim majority nation. You know, there's a term for that, right? It's called Islamophobia. Just because somebody is Muslim, you're therefore saying straight away they are a bad person. You haven't seen anything about their behavior to suggest they're a bad person. They haven't done anything to you, but just because they're Muslim or from a Muslim majority country, they should not be able to come to the UK, assimilate and contribute just because they're from a Muslim majority nation. You need to expand your worldview, because there's no way you've actually met and spent time with a significant enough number of Muslim people to really have this idea that every single Muslim person is a bad person. Something tells me that you live a very sheltered life. You need to go out, touch grass, and your life will improve and you'll get a far better worldview, because there's no way you've literally had an opportunity to interact or take an opportunity to interact with people from different backgrounds and religions, and you'd still have this limited, basic mindset. All right, and the next one is from a video called "Do British People Know Basic UK Trivia?" It gets awkward. So this is a video where I went around and asked British people what I think, and from a little bit of research, are basic things to know about the UK, because commenters said they thought British people have a great knowledge of the UK in general. So here's the first comment from that one. That's a crazy comment. It's @Rubides, of course, @Rubides_nuts. It's always going to be somebody with the silliest username. Anyway, it says, I am from the UK, but struggle to understand that the host is saying, thank God for the subtitles. Well, first and foremost, thank you for reminding me or encouraging me or affirming that having subtitles in my videos are useful. Secondly, you wrote, I'm from the UK, but struggle to understand that the host is saying. I'm struggling to understand what you are trying to write. Maybe if you learn how to, double check what you've typed, then it would be clearer. But I'm assuming you mean I'm from the UK, but struggle to understand what the host is saying. That's why the subtitles are there. And if they aren't there, there's always a button that you can click that says CC, and it brings up auto captions or auto subtitles. So you can use that in the future. Other people who are watching this video, if you struggle to understand what I'm saying, just make a comment on it and say, what did you say at whatever timestamp it is? And I'll take the time to respond, unless I just think you're being rude, and then I probably won't respond to it. That's about it. I don't think I have anything to say more about somebody who says they struggle to understand what I'm saying. I have over 400 videos on my channel. If people couldn't understand what I'm saying, I think I would have that comment coming up a lot more, given I have over 400 videos on my channel. All right, and one more from that same video about do British people know basic UK trivia, it gets awkward, is from at ibu17374. It says, if you're in London, you'll be hard pushed to find a Briton. British is a minority in London. Also, only foreigners and those who want to retire in another country say British. What? Let's read that last part. Also, only foreigners and those who want to retire in another country say British. What are you talking about? So when royalty, members of the royal family say British, they are foreigners or they want to retire in another country? When people on the news say who are British, say British, like what are you talking about? How does saying British mean that it's somebody who's a foreigner says British? What are you expecting them to say? Brits? You're just being pedantic for no reason, cherry picking things to be annoyed by. Maybe somebody stole your girlfriend or something, I don't know, but get a life. If you're in London, you'll be hard pushed to find a Briton. British is a minority in London. Is that so? Let's see, let's do a quick Google search. Percentage of British people in London. Here we go. Demographics. So you clearly mean white British because there's a undertone or overtone of racism in what you said. So looking at the first one from Wikipedia, it says major ethnic is white, which is 53.8%. This is from 2021. Even Wikipedia hasn't updated this. And it says white British is 36.8%. At least over a third of people in London are white British. How is that hard pressed to find a British person in London? 1 in 3 will be white British. That doesn't include Asian British or black British or any others. If you take those other types of British, then it goes to well over 50% are British. But of course, when you talk about British, you mean white British. A comment that's come up repeatedly, that the definition of what it is to be British is to be white British. There's so much to unpack in that, and I'll leave that to people in the comment section to take that argument amongst themselves, because it's a very simplistic one to talk about being British or any nationality means that you represent the race of that nationality. Like you look at America, although America is probably not the best example, but it has the same thing. Being American is being white American, even though that wasn't the original group of people who were in the Americas. Now, in the UK, that's different. I understand that. But this comment about being white British, I mean, I've heard it so many times before. I get so tired about it. I don't even have a comment to say. I mean, you're entitled to say, if you're in London, you'll be hard pushed to find a Briton. British is a minority in London. But however, at least 1 in 3 people in London are white British. So your comment is factually incorrect. Next, this next comment is from a video called Americans on London versus Other UK Cities. And it says, yeah, I bet he likes London almost as much as he likes watching a 4-foot Asian man being plowed by 8 Africans. So you can't see this, but my cameraman is behind the camera and he's doing the same face that I would be doing, which is scrunching his face like, what are you talking about? Like, what in the video that man said made you respond to say, yeah, I bet he likes London almost as much as he likes watching a 4-foot Asian man being plowed by 8 Africans? Something tells me that's your thing, and you were just putting that out into the world to see if anybody would be like, ooh, that sounds like fun. How about we do it together? That sounds like what you're going for, because I don't know where in that video you get the idea that the man who's speaking in the video likes watching 4-foot Asian men being plowed by 8 Africans. I don't know where you get that from. I'm literally lost for words. I am lost for words at how that is what comes into your head from that video where he's talking about Americans on London versus other UK cities. You're projecting, and if that's your kink, hey, I don't think you should be putting that onto the internet, because nobody was thinking that aside from you. Nobody was thinking that aside from you. Nobody was. Nobody. All right, and you know what? my channel isn't all negative, so I don't want to make this video as if my channel is only negative. It's not. I mean, overall, these negative comments, these crazy comments are from a very small group of people. Overwhelmingly, my subscribers, the people who watch my videos, are so amazing. So thank you to all of them for contributing to this channel and making it what it is so far. And hopefully the amazing thing it will be in the future. So with that, I want to give a shout out and share some of the positive comments because it's not all crazy stuff. So here we go. Here's some of the positive comments. This is from the video Foreigners on Their Biggest UK Culture Shocks. And it is at Michael Dillion 3113. He says, I like this enthusiastic young man who is representing London stroke the UK so well. Every success to him. That comment got 771 likes. First of all, thank you, Michael Dillion. When I started this channel, I started with reaction videos and travel vlogs. And then somebody said to me, oh, I think you are really good at talking to people and having conversations with people and showing a genuine interest in talking to people. And I first of all thought, wait, when people talk to other people, are they not genuinely interested in talking to them? Which is a bit naive, but I've come to realize when people have conversations with people, there are good amounts of time they're not genuinely interested in talking to them. They're not at all curious in a positive way about the person they're talking to, which is something I seem to naturally have. So I think that comes across in the way I do the interviews and I talk with people. And I just want to say thank you to Michael Dillion for pointing that out. The representing London, the UK so well, I'll take it. I think that wasn't my initial aim of the channel to, let's say, be representing London or the UK. It was just to show different parts of the UK and the world and give people an insight into what it's really like to be in the UK, to spend time with British people. So it's impressive that that's the takeaway. And I thank you for saying that I'm representing well. And I'll do my best to continue to do so. And every success to you also. The next one is from @TN Squid. It says, this guy is so charismatic and friendly. Couldn't think of anyone else I'd rather have representing the country. Thank you again. I've never thought to myself that I'm charismatic. Friendly, yes, I do try to be, but charismatic, thank you. You're not the first person to call me charismatic, but it's always a surprise to me when people say I'm charismatic. It's never something I'm intentionally trying to do. So to be seen as charismatic is, I'm sure it's a positive. I'm sure lots of people would like to be called charismatic. I will keep just being my genuine self. And if that is charismatic to people, so be it. Thank you. Next one is from @slide6314. It says, you're a natural at interviewing. I would have thought you had hundreds and thousands of views. Don't stop doing what you're doing, broski. Thank you, slide6314. So, natural at interviewing. I think the reason if I do come across as a natural is I take it away from interviewing and more just having a conversation with someone, treating them like I would a friend or somebody I like and get along with. Hopefully that makes it seem like it's very natural. I don't intend to stop doing what I'm doing. So thank you, broski. In terms of I thought you would have had hundreds and thousands of views. Well, that video now has over at least like 180,000 views, if not 200,000 views. So I've gotten hundreds of thousands of views. My channel overall has over 1 million total channel views. So I'm getting there. It's not what I'm aiming for, but I will just keep improving. And I'm always looking forward to suggestions. So put suggestions in the comment sections, what you'd like me to do interviews about, talk about. If you want to see more videos like this, where I share more of my personality, let me know. And the final positive comment is from @DramaPixie14. It's really lovely the way you listen to people and ask thoughtful, personalized questions on the spot. I wish more interviewers shared the same genuine curiosity. Thank you. I think that comment reiterates and supports what I was saying before about I'm genuinely curious about what people are about, trying to see the great parts of them, bringing out the good parts of them, making the interview as natural as possible so they can share the best parts of what they know and their experiences with the world. So I'll continue to do that, and I'll continue to do my best to listen to people and ask thoughtful, personalized questions on the spot. It is something I keep working at, and I do actually appreciate the feedback, even a negative feedback, when it's balanced. I mean, the crazy ones that I showed before, I don't think are balanced. You guys can tell me in the comment section what you think. Comment, like, subscribe, turn on notifications so you get all of my videos when they come up. And thank you for watching. Catch you in the next one. Take care. Peace.